Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of Hell's Kitchen.
Well, we waited 2 weeks and now it's finally back. And remember, they were all one team. There's 6 chefs left.
Okay, so this is their first individual challenge. They had to make a dish that looks great and tastes great, obviously. But this was really focused on presentation.
Right.
So all of the dishes were photographed and
they were all amazing.
the photos were judged.
They really were. They hung them up in this little gallery hallway, and they had some guest judges, which were culinary students, and the worst photo was Holli's.
Yes, they had to rank them from best to worst.
Well, the top 3 was Autumn, Ben, and Ed, but unfortunately Autumn was the 3rd place, so it came down to the tasting of Ben and Ed's. The guest judge was from Epicurious magazine. What?
It was epicurious.com.
Oh, okay. Well, it's an online magazine, I suppose. But isn't that like bi-curious? It's kind of weird the way that...
I don't know.
I don't want to have an affair with my food. All right, so Ben ended up winning with his halibut. Ed's sea bass just wasn't as good. So Ben's dish is going to be on epicurious.com along with Ben.
With him.
Because they're having a photo shoot.
But first he got a makeover, including a haircut and some eyebrow grooming.
Plucking.
Thank God.
I wanted to throw up when they were doing that. It just made me so sick. Ben really needed the makeover.
Yeah.
The losers, they had to hang out with JP and spruce up the dining room.
I don't know why they're always so down on JP. I would be hanging out with him 24/7.
I would be like, that would be the prize. Absolutely. So Jay has a little revelation that he shares with everyone. The only thing he wants to do besides win is bed down Holli.
No!
No. All right, so Ben's dish is on the menu, and it's quite complicated.
Everyone's freaking out.
Yeah, because it's really hard to make. There's like 14 different components, well, 7 different components to it. There's going to be a VIP guest, kiddies.
To be revealed later.
And they're going to be sitting at the chef's table, not in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So Ed got off to a bad start. And Ben is still not talking. And he dropped his chicken when he wiped out.
So sad.
All right, Ed, this halibut's still raw.
He could not cook it properly.
And he was yakking about how happy he was to have the fish station.
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right, there's a pregnant lady about to give birth and she wants her fish. Ed is ruining it. She's going to have to give birth at the table. Ben, he can cook, but he can't lead. Mm-hmm. And it's really pathetic to watch because he will not talk to anybody, but then when it comes time to talk smack, he's the first one. Exactly.
So then Ben and Ed were thrown out by Ramsay because they just weren't cutting it.
Things went a lot better after they were gone. And they were thrown out right before Whoopi Goldberg and her entourage arrived.
And everyone was like, that's Whoopi Goldberg.
This is good. Yeah. So they ended up finishing the service, but you still suck. So you still have to pick 2 nominees.
And Ramsay wanted them to consider everything that has happened when they picked these nominees.
Yeah. So they chose Autumn and Ed. And again, there was a huge Ramsay fake out, and it was Ed that's cut.
Yep.
All right, part 2 of the show, which is the 2nd episode. People are pissed that Autumn is still around.
She's been getting better, though.
She has, so yeah, she can't be cut yet. So this week, the challenge is a market challenge. You got 10 doll hairs and 10 minutes. You got to grab some cheap stuff and create a stunning dish that's going to go for a lot of money in just 30 minutos. So Jason ended up buying pre-made ravioli.
Rookie mistake.
Kiss of death. Kiss of death.
You can't buy pre-made stuff. Ramsay effing hates that.
Besides, who the hell wants to pay $30 for some pre-made ravioli when you can get it at the store for $6? So they had some guest judges. It was like some famous chef, some critic, and some magazine person. The dishes that they were, they were like, I'd pay $25 for that. I mean, they were like this big.
Yeah, I know. How
ridiculous is that? Holli ended up beating Jay, though, by $1. They were going to pay $29 for her dish.
$29.66.
Thank you. And 28, what was it, 12 for
66.
his? All right. So the losers had to endure laundry day and Spam sandwiches in the dining room. Well, Holly, she got a
reacting day.
A relaxing day with JP poolside. But wait, no, not just JP.
She got to pick another chef to go with her.
Tell me that wasn't contrived. Oh, I'll take Jay, because he came in second. Honey, he only wants to do you. Do you feel the same? And as a bonus, she got $1,000 to spend at the kitchen store.
Ooh.
That's a treat.
So when they were at, I think it was the Peninsula Hotel.
Yes.
Jay was all like, "Do you guys have rooms by the hour?"
No, blue hair. Blue Jay. So Holly and Jay, when they got back from the hotel, ended up going into the hot tub. And Autumn, the sea blocker, if you know what I mean,
Autumn
jumped right into the hot tub with them. And she was like, "Hey, I brought you guys some towels." Nice. All right, so Chef Ramsay's been a little upset with the whole communication in the kitchen situation.
Yes, so now they're being forced to communicate for this service because...
They need... Well, because that's what's going to happen in the kitchen.
Well, I'm saying they're being forced to communicate because Ramsay is making them switch stations.
Thank you. I didn't know where you were going with that. And I was like, now what? Okay, so...
Under pressure. What do you come up with?
Nothing. I got nothing. I'm sorry. So Holly's dish is on the menu, too. And that one looked pretty complicated, too. There was a lot of different components on that one. Not quite as bad as Ben's, but pretty bad. So the first switch of stations, Jason got caught with his pants down. He had some undercooked Wellingtons. He was like, "No effing way they were in there for 18 minutes. These were raw."
Yep.
Dude, you should have known as soon as you cut them. You should have said, excuse me,
these are raw.
Yeah. So, Ben, he ended up cooking the ahi. No, ahi is raw on the inside and just barely seared on the outside. Get with it. Mm-hmm. It was very confusing because of Blue Jay. He told Holly that something was like going to take, what was it, 28 minutes or
14.
14 minutes. I'm doubling everything tonight because it's doubly bad. And he like walked up with it like 2 seconds later, and she's like, "Fire! You told me you were gonna like take 14 minutes," and he was, "Well, that was the refire, not the fire. Get with it, kids." All right, so yeah, that was confusing, and Ben ended up jumping on Holly's fish station.
She didn't ask for your help.
Exactly. And you ended up effing it up on top of it. So Jason ended up overcooking the halibut. It was like a friggin' hockey puck. And then Scott unleashed hell on Ben.
This was crazy.
This was the best part of the episode. Scott got right up in Ben's grill, and like I could just see like Ben's hair flying back because
he tried to take over the pass, and Scott was like, this is not happening."
No. So, there are 5 line cooks in this kitchen, no leaders. So, we're going to have to pick 2 for elimination. So, after much discussion and debate, they came up with Ben and Jason. And here I'm getting excited because I'm thinking Jason is going to stay and Ben is going to go home, as much as, I think that they both suck. So, Ramsay ended up sending Jay home for reals. Jason, sorry. Can you tell? I have a sinus headache. I'm sorry. We want Ben out. We want him out now. Next time it's the final 4. And it's going to be the men against the women because the men are a bunch of chauvinist pigs and they want to get rid of the women. Exactly. And there's going to be some Holly and Jay drama.
I want to know what the hell's going on here because it's weird.
I think it was a bad edit. Like, they're trying to mislead us, but there's still some hanky-panky going on. So, join us next week. Till then, much love.